The best trained motorcyclists on the road today are police motorcyclists. This training is based on a combination of observations and forward planning, being in the right position at the right speed at all times. Their experience comes from a comprehensive training scheme that is the best in the world. Now, this kind of training is available to all motorcyclists with a national Star Rider scheme. There are 3 stages in the scheme: bronze, which is the basic, silver, the intermediate, and the ultimate, the Gold Star Award. Riders taking part in one of these schemes are given a combination of theoretical and practical training. Right, we'll now have a look at the system and see how it's applied to the right-hand turn. And the first feature of the system, number 1, is course selected, taking up a position just to the left of the centre line. And the next feature is look behind, to assess the traffic situation behind you. Here, the instructor explains the system, which is a series of checks, signals and positions which are the basis for situations on the road which require a change in course or speed. Let's look at the 7 stages of the system as applied to a right turn. 1. Course selected. 2. Rear observation, signals and speed. 3. Gear. 4. Rear observation and signals. 5. Horn. 6. Rear observation, lifesaver. 7. Acceleration. Now let's see this demonstrated in detail with the following vehicle. The rider, in his normal position, looks behind to see if it is safe to get on course to make a right turn. He signals his intention. Now on course, a further rear check and a slow down signal. After braking to reduce speed for the turn, the correct gear is selected. A further rear check is made, and if necessary, a confirmation arm signal is given. The final check, or lifesaver, is vital before the actual turn is made. This is followed by correct acceleration away from the hazard. Let's have a look at this again. Look behind. Signal. Look behind. Onto course. Look behind. Slow down signal. Brake. Gear. Look behind. Confirmation signal. Lifesaver. Turn and acceleration. In this situation, the final look behind demonstrates just why it's known as the lifesaver. The trainees, having completed part of the theory, are now taken out to put things into practice, riding as a group. A brake check before going out onto the road. The The course is run over 6 weeks, and riders experience all conditions. Though they are ragged at first, improvements are soon made. The group stops at the roadside from time to time for discussions and advice.
Left foot down. All right?
During the course, practical demonstrations are given. Here, the system as applied to a crossroad. He stops at the junction. Check right. Left. Right again, and when clear, looks behind, then moves across the junction. At a roundabout, the system is applied on approach. The selected course depends upon which exit is going to be used and the traffic situation. Here, leaving at the first exit. Now, straight ahead with traffic present. When there is no traffic present, a more direct route may be taken. Finally, turning right. A rider must plan well ahead. His actions must be based upon what he can see, what he can't see, and any situation which he thinks may develop. A well-trained motorcyclist will really enjoy his riding, secure in the knowledge that with observation and planning, he's making himself as safe as possible on today's busy roads. The majority of accidents with motorcyclists involve other vehicles, so it's natural that the basic principles of what he can see, what he cannot see, and what he might expect must always be applied. First, what he can see. No rider would pull out into this traffic. Now, what he can't see. This is the normal position of an untrained rider who can't see the vehicle. A trained rider, at the same distance, but in the correct position, can see the vehicle. In this position, he sees the car earlier and has an increased safety margin. Here, an untrained rider, incorrectly positioned, together with lack of observation, has to stop suddenly. A trained rider acts upon the sign, positions correctly, gains an early view of the hazard ahead, and is able to react in plenty of time. Let's see the two situations illustrated. Firstly, the wrong position, the correct position, and an increased line of vision from near the centre of the road. But for a right-hand bend, a central position restricts the line of view. By moving to the near side, a much better line of view is obtained and reveals a potential hazard. Other advantages are gained from correct positioning. A rider can increase the radius of his course, reducing the cornering forces acting upon the machine. The same applies for a right-hand bend. The advantage of early observation by correct positioning is obvious. As the trainees continue the course, their group riding techniques are improving. Next, a demonstration of braking at 30 miles an hour. First, our instructor uses the rear brake only. Now the front brake only. This time, a correct combination of both front and rear. On a road at 30 miles an hour, imagine what would have happened if the rider had used the rear brake only. This is why correct braking is so very important. Remember how our riders check their brakes when first setting out? Riders must at all times be prepared for changes in the road surface conditions and vary their speed and braking accordingly. Let's have a look at overtaking, one of the most dangerous manoeuvres that a motorcyclist has to make. Here, our instructor looks up the near side, then checks the offside, looking for potential dangers, looks behind, and if all is clear, accelerates past on a straight course, allowing adequate clearance. When safely past, checks behind before moving in. This rider is travelling too close to the vehicle in front and has no view whatsoever. Here, by correct positioning, the rider has seen the vehicle in front of the van and the road junction. He maintains a hold-back position until it's safe to overtake. The highway code spells out several situations where it's unsafe to overtake, yet some riders completely ignore this advice. Here we have a 3-lane carriageway, near side, offside and suicide. The rule is, do not overtake when there is more than one vehicle coming towards you. If in doubt, hold back. As the course nears its completion, individuals spend many hours putting their training into practice, ready for the big day. At the end of the course comes the moment of truth, a practical road test under the keen eye of an examiner.
Right across the crossroads.
And finally, Mr. Warnock. Less than 50% of applicants are successful, so it's a great honour for a rider to reach the standard of a Gold Star Award. A rider who has achieved this standard can now use his motorcycle safely in the knowledge that he has reached the top level in motorcycling roadcraft. If you are just an average rider and want to improve your standard, then aim for the National Star Rider Gold Award. This will help you become one of the finest riders on the road today.